Punch this morning. Buni's lawyers, the rebels, colluded to procure judgment stopping convention. El-Rufai. It's a page 2 read for this daily, and I've got a host of writers here. Buhari 19 governors behind Buni's removal support Bello as new chair. Kaduna governor. Buni refused to implement reconciliation committee's recommendation, alleges El-Rufai. APC governors stabbing sick Buni in the back.
Oh.
Alleges caretaker secretary. Wow.
It's a sick Buni in the back.
Stabbing him. Is that what it is, really? Because, if you have to look at this, why did they have to take this step when he was not around?
It depends how you look at it there. And again, I do not like to look at these issues with the same lens that Mr. El-Rufai looked at it with, or that I like both sides, all sides. And that's why I was happy. But the Punch went the extra, mile to interview JJ Akpan Odoedege yesterday, to balance this. Because El-Rufai did not just throw Buni under the bus, he also threw Akpan Odoedege under his trailer. In that interview with Channels TV last night, 1 hour interview, Mr. El-Rufai said Akpan Odoedege will be dealt with. He used the word. Mr. El-Rufai, they call him Little Finger. People know why now. And you know what Little Finger was if you have seen the Game of Thrones. He can be your friend just now, and then the next minute he switches. That's why people call Mr. El-Rufai Little Finger called him that. But you cannot take the brilliance out of this man.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because you cannot. I was stuck for that interview for the 1 hour yesterday because he had his facts, he was ready, and you can't push him around. For instance, you can't make him mention. If the presenter tried to make him mention before, because he said 19 of the 23 APC governors are behind the decision to sack Malabuni and remove Malabuni and John Akpan Odoedege and allow Abubakar Sani, the governor, to take over the running of the caretaker committee, the convention planning committee, and plan and execute the convention. And the reporter asked him what it is for. He refused to say, and you couldn't push him. Even when the reporter asked him, who are you going to choose in your state Kaduna as your successor? He said no, even though he has someone in mind. The guy first, yes, I have someone in mind. I have someone who I've seen as myself, but I will not name him. That's Mr. El-Rufai for you. Very strategic and under pressure, very calm. You can understand how he managed to run Abuja when he did as minister. And for 8 years now, in spite of the security crisis in Kaduna, he has stood out as a governor who probably will leave some very good legacies in Kaduna. But Mr. El-Rufai still has those traits of a guy you can't trust completely. They asked him yesterday, and he was the one who said it, that Rotimi Amechi wants to run for president. And they asked him, do you want to be his deputy? He said, no, I don't want to do anything. I'm tired. I'm physically tired. And the reporter asked him, what about President Buhari pushes you? He smiles and says, yes. If President Buhari asks me, I will say no, but I will not accept. So you can see. He's a man who has a political ambition, but he's keeping it under wraps. That's the kind of guys. But for the major issue, the APC issue, he exploded yesterday and said that they up until Sunday morning, President Buhari was getting ready to go to the airport to travel to the UK. The APC governors were meeting with him and letting him know that it's time for Mai Malabuni to go. He said Mai Malabuni was intent on destroying the party. He didn't want to hold the convention. And he is even in possession of a court order that will have stopped or destroyed their convention. Since November, he kept it under wraps and refused to report it, refused to vacate it, refused to challenge it. And they just got wind of it. And that was what they kept telling the president. Mai Malabuni doesn't want to hold this convention. And that's why the president, said, let's hand it over to Abubakar Sani Bello to hold it. So they have the full backing of Mr. President in what we're seeing in the APC today. The removal of Mai Malabuni.
So what about the over 1,000 committee members? How are you supposed to manage that?
Yeah, Mr. El-Rufai was saying yesterday that with Abubakar Sani Bello now, action has started. For instance, they have created subcommittees to hold the convention. Before there were 1,700 members, that Mai Malabuni just named. Of course, he was never going to be serious about it. 1.7 is half of the capacity of Eagle Square. So they've cut that down to about 500 and removed some names. Famous name among the one they have removed, Femi Fani Kayode. He was supposed to be in the media subcommittee for the planning of the convention. And so you can now see there are a lot of elements that's going on. Mai Malabuni was also removed and even John Akpan Odoedege himself, those three. And then when you look at El-Rufai comments and you begin to think about the 4 governors who are not in support of the 23 PC governors, you probably can name them. And I think it's essentially, he's talking about Atiku Bagudu, governor of Kebbi, Abubakar Badaru, governor of Jigawa, Mai Malabuni himself, the governor of Yobe, and perhaps Kayode Fayemi, the Nigerian Governance Forum chairman. Those are the 4 that Mr. El-Rufai refused to name. And he said that by alluding to it without coming out with these names, because he kept mentioning the names of all the other governors that were together. I said they're all in Abuja now. They're all in Abuja today, all the 19, and they will stay in Abuja until the convention is done and delivered. And that the neck of the party will meet next week. President Buhari will join them virtually. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will chair it locally. And the party is ready to go. Otherwise, if this convention does not happen on the 26th of March, they will be in the kind of problem that saw them lose their seats in Zamfara and Rivers. Because the next week after 26 is Ramadan fast. And we know that northern Muslims don't joke with Ramadan. They won't go to work because of old convention during Ramadan. They won't. And once the Ramadan ends, it's already time for people to begin to organize primaries. Submit names of your candidates. So this is the best window for them, and they had to take the risk of removing my Buni, John Akparu, and move ahead and hold this convention, in spite of who was God, in spite of who stood under the doors. That's essentially the 1 hour from Mr. El-Rufai yesterday. I think that assignment to come on TV and explain this was a master stroke for the caretaker committee. It has doused all tensions now, and it has effectively ended the reign of my Buni. And whatever Akparu said, like his reaction that it's sad that they're stabbing the man in hospital in the back, I think it's become secondary now. The most important thing is that the party wants to go on the 26th, and they appear to be ready for it. And again, my El-Rufai says they have President Buhari support anyway.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment, and like. Thank you.